Alright, Speedromizer community, I have ceased screaming internally long enough to where we are now set up for our next run of the I'm sorry, I just had a brain fart there. Robotech, the Macross Saga by Mageius. Take it away.
Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, good night, wherever you are in the world. I'm Mageus1, otherwise known as just Mage, and this will be a run of the original Robotech the Macross Saga for the GBA. Because this is a showcase and not any particular game, I have enabled the Select All Characters code, which doesn't affect anything since it's a new game, but just means that every character is essentially is locked from the start, which is allowed. So, since I know DJ's in here, DJ, any particular character you'd like to see?
What was that, what was that chicken one that...
This one?
Yeah, that one. Why not?
Coop Leader. Read the description to yourself. The Lucky Chicken is a daredevil chicken. He's got great stats! So, if you want to see me basically break the game, yeah, this is basically the most broken character in the game. He legitimately is on that one. He just starts off with low attack, so if you want to see me completely destroy the game, I'm fine by that!
You got 40 minutes to fill, so we'll go off from the least broken, or the most broken to the least broken.
Okay, most broken. Then we got Rick, who's more balanced, same thing with Roy, slightly different. It's like the first 5 are normal as anything. Ben, I have to play the entire run in fighter mode in order to be able to not really take that much extra piloting, because he's slow. Young Rick, just different stats for Rick. Roy, I have to play the entire thing in fighter mode because he doesn't have the other modes, so there's that. Young Max, slightly different than Max. Max's wife, Erin. I'm not going to try that one. I have to play basically the entire mode in Battleloid because it's stuck like that, so if you want to give me a giant hitbox. And Rick, before he became a military officer, basically weakest amount of strength in the weakest amount of stamina in the game, and I have to do it all in fighter mode. And then the Lucky Chicken if you want to see me break the game.
I was gonna say, why don't we go with the bigger hitbox then? Give you a bit of a challenge.
This one?
Yeah.
Alright, can do. This is actually one of the ones where I can do this run on a consistent basis.
Alright.
Because HD, this becomes hell later on. So I guess I'll give a countdown then?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, let's go with a 3, 2, 1, let's go.
Let's do it.
Okay, so Max's wife here, back before Max Sterling's wife, basically is a member of the Zentradi. Best way to describe it is she's one of the examples of how music actually influenced things, and they didn't really get together until after the war, but basically was rival to Max in a sense, you know, constantly fighting that one, and they eventually, you know, level on the battlefield, which I might add is a theme to Robotech and Macross in and of itself. This being the Macross Saga, it's based off the first part of the Robotech franchise, which was based off Super Dimension Fortress Macross. Thank you, 80s restrictions for the needing X number of episodes in order for something to air in syndication. That's why Macross has Robotech has 3 different pieces, which are Super Dimension Fortress Macross, Super Dimension Hyper Cavalry Southern Cross, and Genesis Chamber. All 3 are decent animes, although finding the other 2, except for Macross, is a little hard. Fun fact, Macross is not related to the other Super Dimensions one, except in Robotech, in my opinion, because they wanted to make it something, you know, akin to if they were, although Macross has a lot of different series, a lot of different series, and there's a lot more about the music, love, and mecha. So we're gonna go like this, down here. Story-wise, it's been 10 years after the ending of a global war, because the Super Dimensional Fortress, we nicknamed the Macross, or SCF-1, basically landed on Earth, you know, having humanity realize, oh, we're not alone in the universe, so stopping a war because of suddenly realized, hey, there might be a bigger threat. Maybe, maybe not. Anyway, as you can see me actually using her power armor here. Female power armor, to be precise. As the Zentradi, name of the aliens. Basically are very warlike, where, basically a lot more human emotions aren't really shown as much. So as far as, like, music, love, that kind of stuff isn't really as important. Anyway, you'll see me having a giant hitbox. This is the equivalent of if I were to do the entire run in Battleoid mode. Which I might add is very hard to do in the HD version, but with the smaller screen resolution in the GBA, makes it a bit easier. Although I might add, this game was actually not considered well when it came out. It actually has a very low IGN score. It was in nomination for, I believe, Worst Game of the Year it came out. That's something. But you notice how it is a bit harder for me to avoid attacks on that one. So we're still trying to rack up some EXP, as you can see in the corner down there. Just about how... yeah, the game has levels. Blah. Speaking, mage! Speaking! Hard! Anyway, we're going to try to hit this perfectly up here with the attacks, get the full heal. Down here, we want to avoid some lag. Want to basically do that one. We will be using the fact that being able to tank damage to get rid of some enemies, on top of the fact that we still get experience doing that one. Although, unlike the HD version where it's seamless, we don't really take the hit, but we still don't, have knockback for it. Still have some knockback for it, so it costs a little bit to be able to do that. Fun fact, y'all, you're getting to see a run that has not been shown off before. As I said, this is a showcase, so I'm showing one of the characters that really has not gotten love.
This game looks really interesting, by the way.
Hey, it is. It's one of those runs that, like, for the, for 4, it was one of those games that, I think it's a fun one, and it's a good, especially the HD version as well, it's a good introduction to shmups and just, like, the different styles of play for some. I mean, it's how I've gotten pretty, decent at shmups on that one. Still no George on that one. Shoutouts to him and some of the crazy things he does. I mean that in a good way. One crazy, I should state. Well, but anyway, it's like, essentially, we are working on avoiding things because there is not as much of a screen resolution. Because of GBA screen resolution, it is a bit easier to avoid some attacks. We'll just call that death intentional. Even though there's a health pickup coming up. Fun fact, in the HD version, because the screen is pulled out, these health and ammo upgrades are available to stay on screen. Unlike in the GBA version, where they go off screen. And we're at our first boss. You'll see me using missiles here to avoid the attacks. And we'll go down here, fire here. Anyway, as I was saying, basically the story started with the beginning of basically the day that the Super Nintendo Fortress Macross was supposed to launch. You'll see me right up here quickly so that I can get off screen faster on that one. Let me take both upgrades there so I can actually power up our strength and our health a little bit. Now, essentially what happened was Zentradi attacked when the ship fired up for the first time. Basically, booby-trapped on that one. They claim it's their ship, but it's kind of hard to tell on that one. But they do know that the Zentradi are at least 50 feet tall, which is why Battleoid mode exists. And they wanted a hybrid between that and the fighter mode. Now we are basically in space because in order to escape, the SDF-1 had to use what's known as a hyperspace fold. Basically taking part of the island that the ship had crash landed on, Macross Island, with it. So, because we're talking TV and anime logic, people were able to survive And so because of that, one day were, you know, taken aboard and having to get back home. Because anime logic. I mean with anime logic on that one is being able to survive the vacuum of space in a regular building.
First rule of anime logic is there is no logic.
That pretty much depends on the show, though, but 7 lives is pretty good. As you can see, just like how much of a hitbox I've got right now. This, wait, the HD version, this actual particular character is a pain in the ass. Because more enemies on screen means more avoiding things. We want to come up here, move up here. I will still be saving after each of the missions just in case anything does go wrong. But at the same point, unlike the HD version, you actually have multiple save files, and you do need to save because if you exit out of the game, it does not auto-save. That's true with the game over. It will not save unless you save. Move over here, move there, down there. The thing about this version of the game as opposed to the HD version is it's a lot easier to avoid attacks. And just like in Guardian mode, Gear Walk for those Macross fans, or Valkyrie to call it by the proper name for Macross, essentially we can touch the ground. Take care of that one, waste these because bombs are not that good, just like in the HD version. They essentially, you'd think that they would be good, but they don't home in on things, and because we can position ourselves to hit enemies with missiles, it just makes it a lot easier to use our normal missiles. We're just going to hang low here. Now this, I might admit, if I ever pick up the game physically and could map buttons properly, I could probably beat it with one hand. Because essentially, with the way that the characters move in this game, because I am playing on, because I am using one of the characters that does not transform, I do not have to worry about anything on that one. So it boils down to just the A and the B button. By the way, good choice of character on that one. Shows off some very interesting skills. Now, the missiles here, on the other hand, are useful. Because they give a giant explosion. They may not home in, but the giant explosion deals a lot more damage. But to be fair, it also covers a lot more of the screen, so it really does help with survivability. Now, if this were the HD version, we'd be damage of using a lot more, but because we can manage the enemies that appear on screen as well as lag and avoid that attack. As I said, we're trying to get as much EXP as we can, as fast as we can, to be able to survive and level up. Because this game, instead of a score system, has EXP. Though I've never really tested to see whether or not the higher EXP you have, the less chance of getting lives, or vice versa. That's probably something I should test at some point, but I prefer the HD version, where it's a bit more of a challenge. And that death is intentional. You take out both of those enemies there. Want to take the strength there? Yes, you want to save, because we now have 8 lives. Make sure to move over to the correct one, which is the Defender. We've made it to Mars, you know, towards the way home. We're using the Defender here, although it is not the best. The 8-way attack does make it a bit easier to survive attacks. And positive note, in the GBA version, the amount of EXP here is still good. Unlike the HD version where they nerfed the EXP for this stage.
I don't know why that was.
Probably because you can abuse the damage for it, and since there's enough enemies spawning almost infinitely, it really does allow you to rack up the XP.
Oh, right.
We want to move up here, grab the health increase, get rid of that one. Down here, pick up the ammo, avoid that. Fun fact, the other reason the Defender is used even in the HD version is because, honestly, although it's not the best, Gateway Shot is good for making sure you don't die. But in the HD version, you can clip into the enemy's hitbox slightly without taking damage and be able to launch the entire of those 8 shots in one go. So, overlapping hitboxes, just like old games like Castlevania, where you want to have the hitboxes in an enemy attack, multiple times. Want to do that there. Make sure to avoid things. I'll hold off for the next upgrade because we're doing well with lives. But we'll want to scroll down here. Over here. Fly here. Perfectly dodge those things. Fun thing about Blind Game, because we've entered into as a Trotty's ship that we thought was abandoned. Turns out it wasn't. Might add, by this point, we have crowned our Miss Macross. Because of course needing an idle character to help with preventing players help the civilians on the ship actually feel more at home and to raise morale, because it takes about a year to get back, and with a civilian population of, I think it's at least more than 10,000 plus. You figure you gotta at least keep them happy somehow, and we'll fly up here. You may notice me not attack here and there, and sometimes do attack here and there. This is more purely to get rid of enemies that are coming up, as well as lag management. Try to not get hit like that. Fly down there. There. Now, the one fun thing about this mission is, even in the harder HD version, I might add we're playing on normal, because the real difference between normal and hard is, instead of doing that, hey, we'll make things harder, it's, hey, let's give all the enemies more health, so you barely do any damage option. Don't know about you, but, does that make you have to have more skill, or just more of an annoyance? Serious question.
I don't know. Sorry, I was
It's okay.
Something tech side.
Oh, it's okay. It's okay. I was going to go over to chat on that one, but in my opinion, it's sort of like, feel free. If you want to do a run like that, go ahead. If it added more, it would be its own separate category, but because it only... Well, essentially, it makes every character down to, like, 1 strength, even if they have more strength. And if you play on a New Game Plus file, which is basically a file that has things completed, hard is essentially the same as normal. Did that one there. And we've cleared Blind Game. So we're just about, story-wise, just about back home. Earth. And we'll go with that one, take strength. Wish me luck on this one, because giant hitbox and full screen enemy attack. This is why I took... Fun fact, in the HD version, the first thing you get is actually a health, not an ammo increase. Not an ammo refill. So we want to position ourselves just so. Use our extra lives to just damage tank.
There you go.
And
Nice.
we got through one of the hardest bosses in the run. And this is our second one, Battle Him. Story-wise, Rick, who is the main character of this part, best friend Roy, well, older brother figure I should state, basically has sacrificed himself in order to help things, and essentially, if you roll back on Earth. So we've gotten back to Earth. Earth apparently did not want us because, surprise, Centrati weren't after the people of Earth. They were only after their ship. I'm gonna hit that there. Pick up the health here. That there. That there. Go with that there. Damage there. Walk over here. Avoid some of the enemies here. Walk up here. You still have to destroy some landers on that one. Death here because it doesn't matter as much. Down here. This is where I'm just using it. I'm just basically damage tanking now because we have enough lives to just basically not care. Which each thing has its own stats. We'll take the second missile upgrade. Powers on. Force of Arms. Essentially, this is where Min represents the having music basically help influence the battle as a background, as a backdrop to it. We have Minmei singing that one, and in the HD version you can actually hear the words to it. But we're just going to aim here. Move around here perfectly on that one. And on that enemy there. Essentially, Zentradi are attacking Earth on that one after a massive explosion on that one. It's basically, at this point, there has been a split in Zentradi's forces after some of them shrunk down and basically want to board the SDF-1 and realize that, you know, music and other stuff like that exists. Started experiencing human emotions. So it's come down to basically some that want to continue that one and like realizing that war is not the only thing versus those that are like no, don't want to change. Go like this. To win this battle, this last battle. So I don't get caught on that. Now, we'll bounce up here. Now, normally there is a split there that I try to go for the upper path, but, yeah, at this point we don't really need to care about the EXP. No joke, this is, want to get those, which I might add, we don't see that as much, the 8-way shot in the, HD version as much. Here's the split. And doesn't matter for that one. Normally, if this was the HD version, we'd still be trying to get some extra kills because they balance the EXP to not give you as many lives here and there. Like, you will never see me have this many lives in the HD version unless I am playing on a completed file. Because the GBA version is a bit easier than the HD version by a lot. This last battle can win. Hopefully you're all enjoying it. There's the first instance of a female power armor. We'll avoid that one there. Sadly, we don't get all the interesting, cool things that they do. But we do get all this. So we'll sit down here, go there. Reason why we also don't take stats in speed or piloting is it, unlike you would think that it would actually move the screen faster, it does not. It only means you move faster. And at some point, the amount of speed versus the amount of control reaches a tipping point. Because the twitchier you are, the harder it is to actually control. And I'm using a SNES controller since they're playing on emulator. But because I don't know about all of you, but I, unlike a lot of smart players, prefer, you know, prefer analog stick and D-pad instead of keyboard. So it's all about pure movement instead of just like being able to press it once or twice. You'll press an individual button to move the tiniest bit on that one. And we're just going to take that quickly there. We have entered the giant asteroid ship to basically stop the Literati that were anti, basically against, like, figuring out love is... The whole, like, we still want war, we still want this. By the way, fun fact, in the HD version, you can shoot through those the floor there. Which is actually kind of amusing because it makes some strategies a bit more interesting because I can lean down here and fire stuff on the ground, get rid of enemies faster. I want to shoot here because there's a enemy that spawns there normally, and basically we can snipe it off screen. I want to go up here. Right now, because of the amount of lives, this is all about purely just lag management and getting rid of enemies as fast as possible. And just making sure you guys have a good time.
It's all about the good time.
Yep. Because, like I said, this was one of those games that I submitted, and I submitted it with max. Because it's the whole fact of, you may have the weakest health, starting health I should state, but it's the fact that, it's a good way to actually improve and get used to some of the styles with different things on that one. If HD version, I would be going down and attacking that one and getting rid of it ahead of time, but because it's almost a trap here in the GBA version, it's just worth avoiding it. So, hit care of that one, which is a male power armor, I might add. Move down here, get the health, even though we really don't need it. It's best to just pick it up anyway. Fun fact, the game actually was considered difficult when it came out because of some things on it. Probably because this was one of the games that was on the original GBA, not came out before the SP, so had to do it with like full screen. How big the normal screen is and darkness for it. Want to avoid taking a shot to the face, but it doesn't really matter as much. Now we want to wait here because that's up there still was an active hitbox. I want to skip that one there. No, I don't need to save. We're now on to the stars. Storyline-wise, the SDF-1 stopped the Zentradi, but at the same point, they still bombarded Earth. A lot of people lost their lives, but because of the Zentradi ability to shrink down, essentially the basically had a peace accord on that one, and some of them still were like even after the battle was over. But some, like Max and his wife, who, as I said, we're playing as. That's what the S stands for, Sterling. I might add, their children play important roles in both the sequel to the Macross franchise and Robotech. So, just one of those fun facts for y'all. Put that there, down here. We want to get rid of these enemies fast because lag. Because lag reduction is a thing. And for those wondering what emulator I'm using BizHawk. So, I mean, if it's good enough for passing, I think it's probably good enough for other stuff.
No
I
doubt.
believe it's one of those default ones most people default to.
Shoutouts to BizHawk.
Yeah. Well, that's that one and the entire task community on that one for developing such a good emulator. That there. Still want to, as I said, have some lives, because since this is the last full stage, not counting a boss fight, there's going to be an enemy gauntlet. And I don't know about you, but it's not bad bullet hell, but it is like it is easier to just damage tank through and kill enemies that way than it is to try and fight them. Because although Battloid normally would let us slow down the action and stop it, that would also be going slow, and we also don't have access to it because of the character we are playing as. We have the size of the hitbox for it, but not the benefit to it. Goes that way. Doop doop. There. There. We'll move down here, up around there, hit some of the enemies here, off screen. This is all about lag reduction. Although I'm not really seeing as much lag as I expect on that one. Hoping BizHawk is not acting up, but again, we'll know soon enough on that one. Usually the default piece on it without really adjusting things, so here's hoping. Hit those there, that there, down here. Ah, here we go. Here's the lag I'm expecting. You can just start seeing like how much this starts adding to the screen. So we need to get rid of that as fast as possible. So essentially we want to just get rid of them as fast as we can. Regardless of lives. There we go. So we're through this one, and now all that's left is the boss. And we want to take that there just so we can actually just do this. We're on the final boss. Eat the attack. It's there. It's the triple shot. Oh well. Because we have enough health and lives, I can just do this. Basically point blank, deal as much damage as I can, and just waste everything on that one, not caring about damage. Just eat things. By the way, time is coming up. As soon as the screen fades to black, time. Wow.
30-22.
Had I gotten the lag done, could have possibly gotten a sub 30, which would have been the first character to get a sub 30. Although not out of the default characters, but even still.
Yeah, that was a really solid run. Really good showcase.
Yeah. I mean, as I said, like, the community, even though it's just me and one other runner, we're very open to, like, making it a lot more accessible, and that's why that the actual, unlock all characters code is allowed, so players can just pick a character and just like, okay, I want to try a run with this. Okay, I'll try this character, or I'll try this character. New game is just basically without all the upgrades to start with. Although we even do allow the all upgrades if you wanted to try something for a New Game Plus. I'll create a leaderboard for it if someone wants to. Fun fact, this technically does count as world record since no one really runs the character.
Oh, well.
So, woohoo!
Awesome.
Free world record!
World record.
I'm glad everybody enjoyed it. And sorry for finishing like 10 minutes early.
That has been a recurring theme for this entire side event.
Well, isn't that a good thing?
It very much is.
Said I'm glad everybody enjoyed it. So who's up next?
So up next it is Verts with Skyblazer. But we do have an interview as soon as we head over to head over to intermission. And this is going to be an interview y'all don't want to miss. All right. Let me just mute the Discord. There we go. All right. So, pull my list of questions here. So, what got you interested in the Robotech speedrunning scene?
Short answer. DJ, you want to pull up SRC real quick?
I mean, I can.
Pull it up, search the Robotech series on that one, and notice that I mod legitimately 4 out of the 5 games. The reason for that is, and I got interested in it, was because of, short story, 2020, remembering the old Robotech Battle Cry game, and wanting to just play it and see about making it a speedrun, since no one had done it yet. And went from there.
All right. Yeah, there's only 5 Robotech games on SRC, and yeah, you're a mod in almost all of them.
And I've tried to make it very accessible to anybody that's interested, because it's one of the old franchises that got me into mecha anime.
Yeah.
And also then into Macross.
What's in your personal opinion, what's the best Macross game or the best Robotech game that people can learn starting off?
Depends. If they want to work on 2D sides of stuff, I would actually say this one. Or if they want a more HD version and slightly harder, the HD version of it. If they want to just try for fun, we even have the old Java phone game on that one, and there's ways to play that if you just need to kill time on that one, and it's pretty fun there. But I'd say, honestly, if you can go for it, that would probably be Battle Cry. Very fun, 3D style, like, I wouldn't say shooter, but it's like over the shoulder. You have all 3 different modes. You have aerial combat, on the ground combat. It's just fun.
Yeah, it seems like a really good time. Where would people go to learn more about Robotech speedruns?
That would be the Anime Speedrun Discord. I believe you have a link to it. I have a link to it.
Yep, I just posted it right there in chat there.
We also have stuff for the for the whole Macross site as well. And I have an entire 10-part series on my Twitch channel breaking down the Battle Cry speedrun. Although one of the things in there is obsolete by a clip of mine that I figured out how to basically destroy one of the boss battles, shaving off like 2 to 3 minutes just because, hey, you can run into a boss and just pin them against being able to continue into the battle, into an actual battle arena.
That's awesome.
Because they run into it, and you can get there before they run into it.
Okay. What's the best Robotech anime out there?
Anime? It's just Robotech.
Oh, it's just one series. It's not like one that's splintered off into a few different sub-series?
That would be the Macross piece for it. And that's because Robotech in itself, as I said, was created in the 80s because... Think Voltron, how it's a composite of like 2-3 different animes.
Okay.
Robotech is basically something similar to that. However, I'd say the best out of it is the first part, Super Dimensional Fortress Macross. For those out there, this is the importance of Macross. If you're a fan of things like Gundam Wing, I won't say Voltron, but like any of the transforming mecha anime, it was one of the pioneers of that. Okay. It's had several things throughout the year, and fact, they're finally getting games coming over to the West. As well as later in the year, Disney Plus is bringing over almost all the things except for what overlaps with Robotech. So it's a good thing.
Okay. How about future plans for speedrunning? What do you got going on?
Well, if y'all don't mind stopping by my Twitch channel later in the evening, I'll be showcasing a run for Macross Shooting Insight, which is their latest game. Just came out the 14th of March.
Okay, I did show. Okay.
And it is coming out in English later in the year. It was supposed to launch on Steam at the same time, but the day it came out on every other system, they basically announced, hey, we're going to release this in English, so it's been indefinitely held off on Steam. But I've got a Japanese copy of it for the Switch, and it's also out on the PS4, PS5 as well, and it's a very fun game. It's got a lot of the music from the series, a lot of notable things, has backdrop of music and combat and love and stuff, and within the entirety of the, how best to say it, it is a shmup, but it has 3 different styles of shmup in there. Vertical, side-scrolling like this, and the over-the-top, and the 360-degree type thing from Geometry Wars, Asteroid, that kind of stuff. It's very fun.
Heck yeah. Alright, and then my last question that I have for you is, you are involved with Speedromizer 5. Your draft game was Spyro 2. How's that practice going?
It's gonna have to hold off till after April, to sometime in April, because want to showcase, Shooting Insight, for my GDQ submission. So I've been working on that one. I've got a 12-hour speed run coming up on the 2nd, thanks to, really, really longathons, lots of lore, and me getting in both of my Eureka 7 games, back to back. So that just means I don't skip the cutscenes, and since most of them aren't skippable anyway, we just can't skip the ones from that one. So probably middle of April is when I'm going to be starting to work on Spyro.
Okay. Fantastic. Alright, well, that's all the questions I had for you. Thank you for showcasing this great game, and
Thanks
we're
for
going
having
to get
me.
this into a Speedromizer one of these days.
It's a good one. It's a good one, and it's great for beginners.
It is. Alright, and with that being said, give us just a couple more minutes. We are getting set up for our next run of Skyblazer by Verts, so stick around for that.